Hey guys, in this video we're going to look at how to scrape Amazon product pages using Python Scrapy. So just to go over a quick overview of what we'll be doing, first we're just going to look at how the process of scraping products on Amazon actually works. Then we're going to set up a basic spider and a proxy so we can actually scrape Amazon without any issues. And then we're going to crawl through a specific search term. So in this example, we're going to use iPads. We're going to be basically searching Amazon for iPads and using that search term. Then we're going to parse the search results, and then we're going to go onto each individual product page and scrape the product data itself. So let's get started. I've just opened up Amazon.com, and as you can see, I've just gone ahead and typed iPad into the search bar up at the top. So what Amazon then returns, as I'm sure everyone knows, is the list of the product we just searched for, and there's over 1,000 results for iPad. So the one thing to note about how Amazon then displays the product itself is that they've got two ways of displaying it. One is either with the product name in the URL, or two, it's with this specific Amazon identification number, which they use, which you can see in this example here. So that's how Amazon knows exactly which product they have on their store at all times. So what we're going to be doing first is the part of the spider that searches for a specific term and then displays all the results. That's part one, is basically just the search term and then displaying results and then looping through all the pages of results. And then the second part of the spider is going to be dealing with, once we have all the pages and results, which this is pretty simple here. It's just looping through, going to the next page. It's basically all the code is going to be doing. But once we've got that bit done, the next bit is going to be going into a specific product page itself and scraping the details from the page itself that we need. For example, the name, storage capacity, whatever else we need, description, image, price, all that good stuff. So now that we know what we're going to do, let's get our spider up and running. So we have a spider which you can use as part of this tutorial. And we also have the completed code as well, which you can download and run. So depending on how you want to follow along with this video, you can either follow along step by step what we're doing, or you can just download, git clone our fully completed spider and run that and play around with it that way. So I'll leave links to both the basic spider that we're going to use as part of this tutorial, as well as the completed spider. So let's go ahead, get the basic spider, and we're going to just git clone this. So I'm just going to copy that, go to my VS Code, and in the terminal just do it. I've just got an empty folder here, so there's nothing that you guys don't have. Just git clone the project, and now I have my basic Scrapy project. So that just has a README, the basic Scrapy spider. There's not too much in there that the default from Scrapy itself doesn't have. So now that we have this spider downloaded, I'm just going to go ahead and look at setting up the proxy that we're going to be using for this tutorial. So the reason we need a proxy is because Amazon blocks spiders from crawling and scraping its pages. Obviously, Amazon feels that the information it has is very valuable, and it doesn't want to give away that information to everyone and anyone. So some sites have API endpoints that you can actually pay for the product information, and I would recommend that you check out any site that you're looking to scrape. See, do they have an endpoint that you can use that's either free or paid before going ahead and crawling and scraping the main website. So basically in this instance, we're going to get set up with a proxy which will bypass the Amazon antibots and then we'll be able to use our spider without any issues. So in this instance, we're going to be using a proxy provider which is created by us at ScrapeOps. So you can just go to scrapeops.io, get a free account, and you have 1,000 free credits which you can use to scrape whichever sites you need. So I'll also have the link to this in the description. So you can go ahead, sign up for a free trial account, and once you have your API key, you can move on to the next step, which we're going to do now. Okay, so once you have the API key ready to go, the next thing we want to do is install the ScrapeOps Scrapy proxy SDK, which is just basically going to install a middleware into your Scrapy project, which will just send each request to the proxy, and then it'll go from the proxy to Amazon, from Amazon back to the proxy, and then back to you without getting stuck anywhere on the way. So let's go ahead now and just pip install. I'll have this also available. We're just going to pip install. Oh, the first thing actually, we just need to install our Python virtual environment so that it's not going to impact any other Python things that we might have installed. So I've just installed the Python environment, I've activated it there, and I'm going to also pip install Scrapy, and then I can go ahead, copy the other command and run that. Okay, so Scrapy is installed. Now installing the proxy SDK, and the next thing is just to go to our settings, and we're going to add in the bits and pieces we need to get the proxy working correctly. So we need just 3 small things. The first 2 are very self-explanatory. So ScrapeOps API key, put in your API key where it says your API key. Obviously we want the proxy enabled, and then the last thing we want is just to add the downloader middlewares. So currently the downloader middleware here is commented out, so we're just going to add our own one here, and this is just going to activate the ScrapeOps proxy middleware. So once that's done, we can save that, and the next step is just to start writing our spider. So let's go ahead and get going with that. So as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, we're going to be doing this kind of in 2 parts. The first is just to create the part of the spider that's going to search for a particular search term and then loop through all the different pages. And then the next part is to actually go into the individual page of the product itself and get the product data. So let's go to our spiders, open up our quotes.py, which is just the default one we already have. And we're going to just change this into our Amazon search product spider. So I'm going to go ahead and just delete everything in here first. One other thing for you to note is that this entire tutorial is also available in an article, and that article will be also linked in the description. So I'm going to be mostly copying and pasting and talking along to the article. So I would recommend that you check out the article as well. It just saves me typing everything in manually, so it's much quicker. And for you guys, it's just as easy to go and copy and paste the snippets in as well yourselves. Or you can just go straight and download the completed spider at the end as well. So to start off, we have our Amazon search product spider class, and the name of the spider, Amazon search product. So obviously the next part is, as we always have with Scrapy, the start requests function, which gets kicked off as soon as Scrapy starts up. So as part of this start request function, we have the keyword list, which, as I mentioned, we're only going to be searching for iPads, but you could have, iPads, iPod, iPhone, and whatever else you want in here as well. I'm going to just leave it with iPad for now, keep it simple. And as you can see here, very simple. We're just looping through this keyword list, and we've got the search URL, which I showed you guys earlier in the search page we're looking at. This search URL then gets input into the Scrapy request function, and that goes off, and then there's a callback function which we are going to now get to, and the meta keyword and page are passed in as well. So once it gets to here, it goes to that search URL, and then the result of that search URL gets passed to the callback function. So this discover product URLs is that callback function. So that's what we're going to look at now. So this callback function, discover products URLs, takes in the response that this function scrapy.request returns. We've got the response that comes back. We're passing the page and the keyword through here, and they come out here. So we're keeping track of, again, the page and the keyword that we're using. Then we get our list of products using our response.css function and putting in our CSS selector in here. And we loop through all the products that are on the page, pretty self-explanatory, using our for loop. And again, using the CSS selector, we get each product URL. So that's only the relative URL, so it's missing the Amazon.com part, so that's where we're adding it here. And then we've got the full URL. So then that's obviously the URL that we then want to go off and look at, which is the individual product URL. And again, we're passing through the keyword and the page. The last part of this discover products URLs function is where we're keeping track of the different pages. So it's pretty easy, and the only part we're missing now is this parse product data function. I think everything here is pretty self-explanatory. We've got all the products on the page, we loop through all the products on the page, and we loop through all the available pages in these few lines here. Okay, so let's get our product data. So let's do that. We have our parse product data function. So the image data, the price, and then we return all the few bits of data that we've specified here. So this is what we yield here is what is going to get returned in our CSV file or JSON file or whatever we decide to save the data to. So as you can see, we've got just the name, price, some basic rating stuff, the image data, and the variant data. But again, you guys can tailor it to whatever you need. Everyone has different data requirements that they have. So just very quickly before we move on to running this spider, I just want to take a quick look at the CSS selectors, especially for those of you who might be just getting into scraping with Scrapy. So the search products variable here, which contains all the search results that we're going to loop through. So as you can see, we have this section here, which corresponds to certain items that are displayed on screen. So what we can do is to get those CSS selectors, it's usually just a matter of finding which classes on the screen. So if you see here, you can see class equals S card container, and then you can see that this part of the screen is highlighted. So what we can see is that if you are looking at anything with s-result-item. So we can either search through this s-result-item. There you go. So each of these different results has this s-result-item class associated with it. Now I have a very handy Chrome extension called Selector Gadget that is very handy just to double check the different classes and what they correspond to. So see, I just inserted the .s-result-item in here, clicked enter, and it showed me all the items that were selected with this class CSS selector. So that's how we know what we should be putting into these response.css functions. So we have several of them. So once we're looping through our products, then we're using this one here just to get the URL. So this attribute href gets us the specific URL part of the product. And then when we come down to the final part down here, where we're looking for the name, the price, etc. If we click into one of these guys, I'll just click on the Apple iPad. If we look at the title here, we see that the ID is product title. So if we go back to our code, we can see hashtag product title, and then what we want to get from it is the text. So we're doing ... text, and that corresponds to the name of the item. With price, we've got the class a-price, and then again we're getting the text from it. So I think that covers everything just to do with that CSS selectors bit. So let's go ahead and just double check that we have everything correct, and then we'll try and run this and see what output we get. So I think I just have to add in my API key, which I haven't done yet, for my proxy. So I'll just go to settings and put in my test API key, and it's enabled. I've got my middleware. Just one small thing I almost forgot to add in: the concurrent requests. So we want to uncomment this line and just put 1 for the moment. So this is only set to 1, and we can only do 1 request at a time because we are using the free proxy trial, and that will throttle us if we try and send it the default, which is 16. So if that's commented out, you might get some error messages back from the proxy saying that you're trying to send too many requests through at the same time. So that's why we just have concurrent requests set to 1. But obviously, if you want to scrape Amazon at a larger scale, you can pay for more concurrent requests, and then you can up this number here. So you would get onto ScrapeOps and upgrade your plan, and then you'd have enough concurrent requests. Okay, that's that. And now let's try run the spider. And if there's any errors, we can always adjust on the fly. So it's just Scrapy crawl Amazon search product. Try and run that. Unknown command crawl. It's probably because we're missing. Did we do pip install Scrapy? Maybe we just need to deactivate and reactivate our virtual environment. That sometimes does the trick. And activate it again. And unknown command, use Scrapy. Am I in the right? Probably not in the right folder. There you go. Just had to CD down into my basic Scrapy folder. Okay, so what do we have here? We're getting a bunch of data back. So far, nothing scraped. We might have to wait a couple of seconds, and we're starting to get some stuff back. And as you can see, this looks like the data we wanted. There's image URLs coming through, a I might actually just stop this and restart it and get it to come out into a JSON file, because that's a bit too messy for us. So just kill the spider and just do results.json. Perfect. Okay, so I'm just going to run that one more time. And we've got our results.json file here. You can take a couple of seconds because in the background, the request is getting rerouted to the proxy and then from the proxy to Amazon, trying to make it, you know, all the way through and all the way back. Okay, results file, nothing there yet. If I go back, there you go. So we have Apple iPad Pro, Apple iPad Air, Samsung Galaxy Tab, and so on and so forth, with everything that we wanted, the stars, the price, the rating. And so it's going to just continue on like that until it reaches the end and finishes. It's pretty simple, really, when you break it down like that. I'm just going to stop it here before I use all my free requests. So we'll just quickly go through it one more time. We have the start requests where we just kick everything off. We have our keyword list. We then search for each item in the keyword list. Once we have the products, we loop through all the products on the page, and we loop through all the pages. And again, we're calling this discover product URLs. So if we're not on page one, it'll keep going all the way through and keep track of the pages that we're on. And then we parse the individual product data and everything gets output into whatever file we want at the end. So I think that's it, guys. If you have any questions, comments, or get stuck on any section of this, please leave a comment below. We'll also be doing the same tutorial, but for straight Python, for Node, and a couple of other languages too. So that'll be coming out soon. And we'll also be doing a different tutorial to scrape all the Amazon reviews, because obviously that's something which a lot of people are very anxious to get their hands on. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next video.